Number 8. The value of charisma. Charisma. What is that? Let's talk about it. Because this is one of those topics that a lot of people try to stray away from because it can get a little damning. It can get a little bit damaging when you talk about charisma. Because when you look at charisma, a lot of people lump up charisma with character. And they say things like, I'd rather have character than have charisma. And for some reason, put it together as if you couldn't have one without the other. Like, I know a ton of people who have character and are charismatic. And I know a ton of people who have character and are not charismatic. And I know a ton of people who are charismatic and they don't have character, right? So they're not synonymous with each other. And charisma is not necessary. This is why this training is going to be really short. Because charisma itself is not a necessity for leadership. You can have character, no charisma, and be an incredible leader. But when you have both, you can go to a whole nother level, right? So character plus charisma, one of the main reasons why they don't go together often, because people with charisma, usually they lean so heavily on their abilities. They lean so heavily on their talent that they never take the time to build their character. And people with character, a lot of times, they have character and they get places with character alone, and sometimes they don't need charisma, so they don't even develop it. But when you have great leaders, some people who are the greatest in the world, a lot of those people have both. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. It's possible that charisma could take you places that your character doesn't keep you. Charisma is the talent. Character is like the GPS, guiding you and guiding that talent down the right direction. Because I've seen so many people who had incredible charisma and didn't have the character to back it up. And even if they went high, they always fell flat on their face. It's so important to have that character that backs up that charisma. Like, if I'm a fan of basketball, if you haven't been able to tell, I talk about basketball all of the time. I love basketball. I used to play. So it's something that I'm truly passionate about. If you look at basketball, there's a lot of underground players that you might have never heard about. Like Earl the GOAT, or Joe Hammond, or Pee Wee Kirkland, or, the list can go, Lim Bias. I mean, the list can go on and on of people who had the charisma. They had the talent. They had the skills. But their charisma was so great. Some people had incredible personalities, incredible charisma. They had the talent, but they didn't have the character to back them up. And because they didn't have that character to back them up, they fell on their faces to multiple different things and they never made it big. But if you think about people like Michael Jordan or Magic Johnson or LeBron James or Kevin Durant or Shaquille O'Neal, these are all people who had the charisma and the character to back it up. So they were able to do the right things with their skill level. It's so important for people to have that charisma and the character and mesh them together. It's not a necessity, but if you can put those two together, it's greatness that can occur. And here's what charisma is. Charisma is a tool to inspire those who follow you. That's what charisma is. It's just a tool to inspire those who follow you. It's an incredible tool where you can use it and the people around you will be glued to every word that you say. The people around you will be, all for it. They'll be ready to roll with you. They'll be ready to go down the war path with you. I mean, Winston Churchill was said to have some of the greatest charisma. He was a wartime general. He knew how to bring people and the troops together to go to war and to go after victory. He knew his charisma would inspire those to follow him. And it's so key if you can have that charisma where people will follow you and they'll get around you and they'll wrap their arms around you because they're inspired by you and you have just this aura about you. It's like magnetic and people just are attracted to what you have. And it's not everybody's charisma comes out in the same way. Charisma is such an incredible tool to have in your arsenal. Even if you have a high character and you don't normally would consider yourself a person of high charisma, I would say take the time and learn it. Take the time and try to see what you can do to increase your magnetism, increase your walk. Allow people to be attracted to you in a way that normally they wouldn't be. Even though you have the character, don't lose the character, but add charisma. It can be an incredible tool. And if you have charisma, be mindful that your charisma is not enough to keep you at heights. It can take you to heights, but it can't keep you there. Most of the time, your charisma, if you're leaning only on your charisma and you don't have the character to back it up, Everything that's done in the dark will always come to the light. Everything. So your character is so key for you staying there because you can't hide yourself but so long. There'll be times where the charisma is just not hitting. And when the charisma is not hitting, you lean back on your character. So here are the keys to charisma. Number 1, confidence. Key to charisma is confidence. A lot of times if you want to build charisma, you got to have confidence. People are attracted to people who know where they're going. In New York, I'm born and raised in New York. In New York, people call it swagger. Right? Well, actually, they call it swagger everywhere now. But swagger. People love people with confidence. People love when people know where they're going. People love when people are sold out to their vision and their plan and their goals. People love that. You've got to have confidence. Number 2. You gotta be knowledgeable. People with charisma are knowledgeable at a specific task. They're knowledgeable at their area of expertise. They're knowledgeable. People are attracted to people who have information. People are attracted to people who know things that they don't know. They want to get around people who know things that they don't know, but they would like to know. So knowledge is so key for charisma. People want to know that you know, right? Number 3. Eloquence. This is a part of charisma. A lot of this goes with speaking, right? Eloquent, and it doesn't have to be speaking. Eloquent in your dressing, eloquent in the way you carry yourself, eloquent at a dinner. When you're just an eloquent person, the eloquent speaking, like everything around you is just polished. People are attracted to that. People are attracted to that polished person with the polished dressing and the polished vocabulary and the everything is so polished about them. That person has charisma. People are attracted to that. People want to get closer to that. Why? It's because people want to be that themselves. People want to be polished. People want to have this eloquence about them. And if you have it, the things that they don't have, then they're attracted to you. They want to figure out how'd you do it. What are you doing that makes you the way you are? This is why people love celebrities so much. It's because celebrities are so eloquent the way they do things. They have such an incredible team around them that makes sure that everything around them, that everything they do is polished. Everything that they do is eloquent. So you got to have eloquence if you want charisma. Number 4. You got to have a contagious smile. And this is so important. And I want to harp on this a lot is because a lot of people don't smile anymore. Like, I kind of tend to wonder, like, what is wrong? For most people walking around frowning. Like, what's wrong? You're alive. There's so many people who are in tough situations and on an everyday basis. So many people who are sick, who can't get out of the bed. So many things that are going on that people have a reason to be frowning about. But there are people who are out there just frowning to be frowning. Everything is going fine in their life. They might not be everywhere they want to be, but they're not, dying. Nothing wrong is happening to their family. Come on, smile. Like, you only have one life. Live it, right? Be happy. There's no reason not to be happy. You have the power to be happy or to be sad. And so many people wake up sad because they decided to. Be happy. Have a smile. Walk around with that contagious energy. Charisma is all about attracting people. I remember I used to walk around just smiling. And people would look at me and say hi to me just because I was smiling. Like, I was actually forcing myself to walk around. Imagine yourself walking around smiling like, all day long, just smiling. Like, I used to train myself to smile all day long. Why? Because it's so important to build a relationship, especially when you're looking at leadership. Charisma, it's attracting people. People want to be around people who are happy because a lot of times they haven't felt the happiness inside of themselves. So they're looking for other reasons to be happy. And if you're happy, then you're contagious. You ever been around somebody who was just happy and excited and positive? For some reason, you got happy, excited, and positive because you were around them. It's the same thing with somebody that's gloomy and, woe is me. That kind of energy you feel too, and you don't want to be around it, right? So attraction, which is what charisma is all about, you got to be smiling. You got to be happy. Number 5. You got to be genuine. And this is what charisma is. Remember, it's all about attracting people, right? People are attracted to genuine people. People who genuinely care. And people who are genuinely happy. You don't walk around, like for me, I was forcing myself to smile. I was doing that so at some point I could be genuinely smiling all of the time, right? I have a friend who people used to make jokes on him because he smiled all of the time, right? From DC. But it's so exciting for people to be genuine. People are excited. People are attracted to the genuine person who just loves and who's doing all of these things not because they're trying to get something from somebody else, but because they actually really feel that way. They actually really feel loving. They really feel they want to be eloquent. They're genuine about that. They're genuine about the knowledge that they have. They're passionate about that knowledge. It's genuine confidence. It's not arrogance. It's not shoulders back and chest puffed out arrogance. It's I know where I'm going, so I believe in what I'm doing, and I genuinely love and care about what I'm doing, and I believe in it. So that's why I'm confident. I mean, that's genuineness, right? That's why people are attracted, right? And number 6. Spontaneous. So with charisma, sometimes you gotta move at a moment's notice, right? And people like that. People are attracted to spontaneous people. People are attracted to people who can go off the cuff. People who can, in a moment's notice, be ready. Like if somebody said, "Hey Eugene, I need you to speak to this group of 10,000 people tomorrow at 6 a.m. Could you be there?" And if my schedule allows it, I'm there. And I don't need 10 years of practice. I don't need 15 years of practice. I'm ready. You know what? Because I've already took the time to get ready earlier. I always stay ready so I don't have to get ready. But it's all about my confidence and my charisma and my spontaneousness. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go after it, right? People like that. People like people who could just go at a moment's notice, right? Who could just make changes and do different things and are not so structured and very flexible, because most people's life is so structured. They wake up at a certain time, they get to work at a certain time, they take lunch at a certain time, they go to the bathroom at a certain time, they go home at a certain time, they watch a certain television show at a certain time, they go to sleep at a certain time, and they wake up and do it over again, over and over and over. So sometimes people want to be spontaneous, but they're in a situation in their life where they don't have the ability to. So when you display the ability to be spontaneous, people are attracted to that. Like, whoa, that's pretty cool, man. You just do. I mean, just at any moment's notice, you just did that. Wow, that's pretty cool. People are attracted to that, and that's charisma, right? And I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on charisma because, like I said, it's not a necessity. But I wanted to add this in because if you can get this, it can skyrocket your ability on leadership. Some people who don't have this, I really urge you, and you have character, and you're totally fine. You don't have to add this. But I really urge you to do it because I guarantee you your leadership will skyrocket when you master some of these things. Not just get it kind of good, master them.